How's it going, guys? Hope everybody's well. Just a bit of forewarning before I do the review of XCOM 2. If you hear any glasses breaking, women screaming, men punching each other in the face repeatedly, that is happening outside of my window. I live around a bunch of clubs because I live in a town centre. That is not happening to me. Don't panic, don't freak out. Pretend you didn't hear it if you do hear that. I don't know what's going to happen during this recording because there's already been a lot of stuff kicking off outside my window, so sorry about that. XCOM 2, freaking loved the last XCOM that came out. I had it on the PS3. It also came out as one of those free-to-play games on the PS3, because when you're part of PlayStation Plus, they give you a load of decent games, and they're not crappy games. They're really good titles, and I remember I rinsed and rinsed it when it was on the PlayStation Plus. Freaking loved it. The only thing is, I'm going to go through some good points and bad points because I kept going through the bad points first before, but what I've noticed is a lot of people only watch the first few seconds of your video sometimes, so they think, oh, he's hating on the game, quick, dislike, don't watch his video, he's shit. So I'm going to mix it around, so I'm going to trick you. You don't know whether I'm going to cuss it or not. Well, I'm not, I freaking love it. But anyway, the graphics, well, I mean, the graphics are fine. I just hit the microphone, by the way. If you hear a tap, that was me knocking it with my hand. The graphics are fine. Well, I mean, I've got a mid-range PC, so it's nothing special. It's not struggling. I've had no glitches, no issues, nothing at all like that. Also, the Steam Workshop is something that I've not really dabbled in before, but since this, I noticed straight away I went on the Steam Workshop and it has got some fantastic mods. There are some certain things that you're going to want to go and download straight. Well, I say download, it's called subscribe on the Steam Workshop mods, but it basically means download. They're no effort, minimal effort, you know, they don't cost anything, it's free mods. Definitely do it. If you're going to play this, you want to have a look at the Steam Workshop first, because there's a timer, and this is probably a bad point for me. I don't like the fact that the whole game is timed. Like, it's, oh, the aliens are going to do this quick, it's going to end your game, end everything if you don't do this first. And I'm not going to spoil anything, but something bad happens, and if you don't act quick, your game pretty much is fucked. I don't quite like that, but again, with Steam Workshop, you go into that, you can download a thing called Increased Timer. I think it was like 30%, 40%, and it doesn't quite half the time, obviously, but it gives you enough time to have some tactical creation about what you're doing, because otherwise it's quick, rush forward, get the mission done, get the story done, get everything done, and it kind of butchered it a bit for me. I quite liked it that I could increase the timers slightly. Again, not gonna spoil anything, but you need to be quick in this game, a lot quicker than the last game, and I didn't like that. I quite like to have some tactical situations where I can choose what I want to do, choose if I want to rescue a certain person, and I'll go into that later. Anyway, more variety in the maps, because the last XCOM, you play 5 maps and that's it, you've seen everything. You will come across the same buildings, the same petrol stations, the same situations, and it got very old very quick. But in this, they've sort of dealt with that, and there's a huge variety of maps. There's always something different to see, and at least, well, something different to blow up at least. Play it on normal difficulty as well. That's where you want to play it. There's a guy I work with who calls himself a PC gamer, but he, between me and you, don't tell anyone, he's not. He played it on easy. You deserve putting up against the firing line in my books. If you play a game on easy, you should play a game on normal, because that's how the developer intended it. Play it on normal. You want to play it on hard, fine, but play it on normal first. Don't put it on easy, don't put it on hard, play it on normal. You complete it, fine, boom, put it on hard. That is the difficulty. You should play this on normal, because it's not an easy game. It's a lot harder than the other XCOM game. It butchers you in that sense. Loads more items, loads more armors. Again, there's only tier 1, 2 and 3, but they've at least expanded on that, so there's much more choice. There's less base building options, which is a bad point. It's just, I quite like the micromanagement and the base building. They've kind of nerfed that a bit, in the sense that you only get a 6x6, a 3x6 block, or a 3x3, or is it 4x4? I don't know, but it's not as much as the last one. It's not as good. They've took a lot of the choice away. That's not a good thing in my book. Some people might like the fact they've simplified it, but for me, not so much. There's way more enemy types as well, which is great. There's better campaign story. better choice in what you do, how you move around the map. You now get a spaceship, which, like I say, Avenger. It's called the Avenger, the spaceship. It's a spaceship, let's just narrow it down. And that's now your base. It's like a mobile base, and instead of using satellites like you did in the last XCOM, you now build communication relays and control towers and etc, etc, and you move around the map as you see fit. And there's also a better mission variety, so that has got that going for it. Like I said, I've had no bugs, no glitches, nothing like that, but there is still only 3 tiers of weapons, and I would have loved it if they had more choice. But you do get one use items which won't act like they did in the last XCOM, which is great. But again, another bad thing, timers, like I've touched on before. Timers on everything. Act quick, rush forward, rush to the end of the map, rush to save civilians. Everything's a rush, and I don't like that. But again, the workshop is brilliant because there's a few things that increase the time, so it's expanded on that and made it way better. So you definitely want to look into the workshop. And yeah, that's XCOM 2. And thanks for not worrying about the screaming and shouting. It kind of died down for the last 2 minutes, which was good. So yeah, a rant to come soon, something that I want to touch on because it's really winding me the fuck up at the minute. But yeah, XCOM 2, definitely worth a go. Hundreds of hours of fun. I've put in 20 hours on this so far. Definitely worth a shot. I'll see you again soon. See ya.